Well, hello. I am in the Real Relationships Command Center to bring you this week's episode. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, better known as SETI, is comprised of researchers, scientists, and other professionals who monitor the galaxy for intelligent extraterrestrial life, monitoring electromagnetic radiation for signs of transmissions from civilizations on other planets, as we saw in this week's episode with global consequences, Independence Day. Now, in the summer blockbuster movie, we saw the people at SETI react to one of the first known signals since the WOW signal. More on that later. That Earth had been invaded. But what is SETI and what do they do? And would a technician systems engineer who had previously punched the president, who wasn't president at the time, be able to save all of humanity with a computer virus? Let's find out. SETI began with the technological advancement known as radio, a medium later used to win concert tickets and other great prizes. But before then, in 1896, Nikola Tesla suggested that an extreme version of a wireless electrical transmission system, which is basically what a radio is, could be used to contact life on Mars. In 1899, while conducting experiments at his Colorado Springs experimental station, he thought he had detected a signal from Mars, since an odd, repetitive, static signal seemed to cut off when Mars set in the night sky. Analysis of Tesla's research has led to a range of explanations, including 1, Tesla simply misunderstood the new technology he was working with. Unlikely, it's Tesla. 2, that he may have been observing signals from Marconi's European radio experiments, and this is probable. And 3, speculation that he could have picked up naturally occurring radio noise caused by a moon of Jupiter moving through the atmosphere of Jupiter. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe that sounds like a good science-y explanation. In 1960, Cornell University research astronomer Frank Drake performed the first modern SETI experiment named Project Ozma, after the Queen Oz in L. Frank Baum's fantasy books, and I love a good Wizard of Oz reference. Now, Drake used a radio telescope 26 meters, 85 feet, in diameter at Green Bank, West Virginia, to examine the stars in a region of the radio spectrum dubbed the water hole. A 400 kilohertz band around the marker frequency was scanned using a single channel receiver with a bandwidth of 100 hertz. He found nothing of interest. And amid the peak of the Cold War, Soviet scientists took a strong interest in what people at SETI were doing and performed a number of searches in the hopes of picking up powerful radio signals. They also found nothing of interest that we know of. In August 1977, the Ohio State SETI program gained fame when Jerry Amon, a project volunteer, witnessed a startling, strong signal received by the telescope. He quickly circled the indication on a printout and scribbled the exclamation, "Wow," in its margin. Dubbed the WOW signal, it is considered by some to be the best candidate for a radio signal from an artificial extraterrestrial source ever discovered. but it has not been detected again in several additional searches that replicated its conditions. Several hypotheses have been advanced on the origin of the emission, including natural and human-made sources, but none of them adequately explain the signal or why we haven't heard it since. Eamon said in 1994, "We should have seen it again when we looked for it 50 times. Something suggests it was an Earth-sourced signal that simply got reflected off a piece of space debris." And that is a very likely explanation. However, Eamon is convinced that the WOW signal certainly has the potential of being the first signal from extraterrestrial intelligence. And many people speculate that we might find traces of past civilizations in our very own solar system on planets like Venus or Mars, although the traces would most likely be found underground. And this is plausible given that the events of Independence Day showed various cities around the world being decimated. So it would make sense that survivors would seek underground comfort, as they did with previous invasions from this particular species in this particular movie. And Italian physicist Enrico Fermi suggested that if technologically advanced civilizations are common in the universe, then they should be detectable in one way or another. The Fermi paradox is commonly understood as asking why extraterrestrials have not visited Earth, but the same reasoning applies to the question of why signals from extraterrestrials have not been heard. There are multiple explanations proposed for the Fermi paradox, ranging from analysis suggesting that intelligent life is rare to analysis suggesting that although extraterrestrial civilizations may be common, they could not travel across interstellar distances or would destroy themselves before they master the technology of either interstellar travel or communication. Physicist Stephen Hawking, in his book, A Brief History of Time, suggests that alerting extraterrestrial intelligence to our own existence is foolhardily, citing humanity's history of treating its own kind harshly, especially when civilizations that have disparate technologies meet. Astronomer Jill Tarter disagrees with Hawking, arguing that aliens who have the technology to communicate and travel across interstellar distances would have evolved a cooperative and therefore less violent intelligence. All of this is to say that a lot of very smart people from across centuries have differing views on the very existence of extraterrestrial beings. Are we alone, or are we just very far apart in the universe? According to Seth Shostak, senior astronomer at SETI, it's hard to determine the likelihood that aliens are trying to make contact with us at this moment in time. Quote, "Most of the universe is 3 times older than our own planet. Earthbound people have only had radio for 100 years. Extraterrestrial beings may have had radio for millions, perhaps even billions of years. And therefore, it's a pretty safe bet, just on the basis of those numbers, that no aliens know of Homo sapiens on Earth. Yet." And there's always a chance that SETI could pick up a signal of alien life like in the movie. But unlike in Independence Day, real-life SETI researchers don't assume aliens are looking for us. SETI researchers often say they listen for signals, and as shown in the movie, it is the computers that do the primary listening. And when an interesting signal is detected, the control computer terminals issue a series of beeps rather than the flashing lights seen in the movie. No word on whether they play golf or practice their swing in their spare time. But you gotta do something to fight boredom in between those moments of signals. And in the movie's final act, a ragtag group of RVers, soldiers, and scientists band together to defeat the aliens and save humankind using a floppy disk and a pre-Y2K virus. So you might be wondering, could we really defeat advanced beings by uploading a computer virus to disable their mothership's defense system? In a word, and you probably saw this coming, no. Theoretically, of course, if aliens came here and they were going to be malevolent, we really couldn't stop them. We don't have the power that we know of yet. And given how advanced alien species would have to be to get to Earth in the first place, humanity's greatest hope would be to negotiate with them. So while Independence Day may not provide a great roadmap for us to beat the aliens, it does reflect our culture's lingering curiosity about what lurks in the vast depths of the cosmos. And to that end, about 2/3 of Americans, including myself, believe in extraterrestrial intelligent life. We have a natural fascination with aliens since the invention of radio, but certainly civilizations prior to us had some inkling that maybe aliens contacted them directly, maybe helped them build some of our most famous structures, maybe had a hand in influencing the design of some of our major capital cities. However, I think most of us can agree that we would not want an alien invasion to decimate our major cities or kill a lot of people. Last summer was an interesting turn of events in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, because last summer, 3 military veterans testified openly and public in Congress's highly anticipated hearing on UFOs, including a former Air Force intelligence officer who claimed the US government has operated a secret multi-decade reverse engineering program of recovered vessels. And adding to that, he added that the US has recovered non-human biologics from alleged crash sites. While the topic of little green men did come up, much of the discussion centered on improving processes for reporting UFOs, now known as UAPs, but they'll always be UFOs to me. Retired Major General David Grush, who went from being part of the Pentagon's UFO task force to becoming a whistleblower, told the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee that he had been denied access to some government programs, but that he knows the, quote, exact locations of UFOs in US possession. In response to public interest and political pressure, federal and military agencies have begun sharing a trove of information about unexplained aircraft encounters. And what we have found is many sightings have been found to be of pedestrian or human origin, from weather balloons to drones, airborne trash, and even birds. But we still have this congressional testimony that verified the existence of something from beyond our realm that has not been fully vetted, fully discovered, fully, I guess, reverse engineered. And one of the people who was especially ecstatic that the truth is beginning to come to light regarding UFOs is Tom DeLonge. While best known as being a founding member of Blink-182, DeLonge has made a second career of investigating aliens, with his passion for the paranormal and UFOs widely documented. He famously quit Blink-182 in 2015 to focus on aliens full-time, forming the Stars Academy of Arts and Scientists with a crew of ex-government employees, scientists, aerospace engineers, and creatives to work collectively to allow gifted researchers the freedom to explore exotic science and technologies with the infrastructure and resources to rapidly transition innovative ideas into world-shaping innovations. And I think that is very exciting. And again, I've always had a fascination with what lies outside of our galaxy. I love taking a look through a telescope and see what is around us. And here, of course, we have NASA. There are so many resources at our hands that it inspires imagination for what is truly out there. So keep looking up, keep listening to the skies, and give the subscribe button an elongated finger from a little green man so you never miss a thing. We appreciate our listeners, our viewers, our subscribers. You can always find the Real Relationships podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes drop like an alien mothership every Thursday, along with shows and episodes on this channel every Thursday. Thank you again. Stay safe this Independence Day and every Independence Day. We will see you soon.